Yo, 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 what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. I'm KT, your friendly neighborhood personal trainer. And in today's video, we're going to go over New Year's goals and how to set them. Now, a lot of people in the population don't even set New Year's goals. And the percentage of that don't set them because they know they're not going to achieve it. And while I think it's great to know yourself, I also think it's a little discouraging to already be so discouraged you don't even want to attempt something because you think you're going to fail. So in today's video, I want to go over 7 things I think could be beneficial when it comes to setting New Year's goals. I also want to add in a disclaimer that I think this whole Mercury retrograde thing is hitting me hard today because I found it so difficult to communicate my thoughts. So I'm just kind of like in advance, if this video is just a little mumble jumbly, I apologize. I'm doing my best to communicate, but it's been weird. But let's get into it. First up on this tip is going to be a very short one, and that is just going to be reflect. Spend some time reflecting on the goals you set in the previous years and think about why you did not accomplish them, because sometimes it isn't the goal that's the problem. It's the circumstances, it's the timing, it's the mentality you had, it's all these other things. But if you don't think about that and reflect on that, you might just assume that it's a you problem, and then you never want to try to make that goal again. So spend a day, a week, or even a month, maybe on December 1st to December 30th, you're spending all that time thinking about reflecting on the goals you set in the year before. You're looking at the ones that you did not achieve so you can see what went wrong. You're looking at the ones that you did achieve so you can see what went right. And then you can think about how I'm going to change or alter things this next time around to achieve those same goals. So number 1 is going to be reflect. Number 2 is going to piggyback off of that, because once you reflect, I also want you to let go of past failures. Just because you didn't achieve something last year doesn't mean you still can't achieve it next year. Just because you didn't achieve something that you set out to do 2 years in a row doesn't mean that this third year won't be your time. I have a great example for this. So I know a guy, we work together. Let's say starting in, I believe, 2019 up until now, 2023. Which is now 2024, he would set this goal of he wants to get back into running every single year. We would have vision board parties every year where we would talk about what goals we're going to set this year. And on his was always, I want to go running. I want to start running again. So first year, he didn't achieve it. But come the second year, he set that goal out again. That year, he didn't achieve it. Third year, he set that goal again. So he kept setting this goal over and over again, despite the fact that he hadn't done it the past few times that he said he was going to do it. So instead of saying, I guess I'm just never going to do this, he just kept saying, I'm going to do it. I don't know when, but I'm going to keep inspiring to do this year after year after year. So fast forward to 2023, we had a vision board party. He set this goal, I'm going to start running. About 5 months into the month, no running. He still hadn't done this running. However, we all took this international trip in June, and he just began walking. He would get up literally before anyone else to go walk this trail. And eventually, once we got back home to the States, that became running. So he continued walking, and then he started running. So now I saw him in November, and I swear it looked like he at least dropped 30 pounds. So it doesn't matter how many times you set out to do something and don't do it. As long as you continue to believe in yourself, you will do it when the time is right for you. Your someday can be any day, as long as you don't give up on yourself. Which brings me into my third point of having supporters. You need to surround yourself by people that are going to encourage and uplift you. Using the same example, like I said, we would have this vision board party every single year, but it's not like every year when he said, I'm going to start running this year, guys. We were just like, yeah, right. You've been saying it for the past 4 years. You ain't did it yet. You're not going to do it. No, every year he said that, we were like, you know what? By the end of this year, you're going to be running marathons. Like, we believe in you, bro. You know what I mean? It's like we were uplifting him and encouraging him and never being like, you're never going to do this, because historically you've shown to us that you're not going to do it. No, because we believe that he can do it. He believed that he can do it. So we supported him. So it's important to surround yourself by people who are also going to support and believe in the vision that you set for yourself. No matter how many times you tried to do this before and didn't do it, no matter how many times you put something out there that's so big that other people just can't see how you're possibly going to achieve that year, and they start telling you, that's a little big, maybe you should think smaller, I don't think you can accomplish that, let's be realistic. You need that kind of energy, okay? You need people that are going to support you and be on the same vibrating energy level with you year after year, goal after goal. So that is my third tip. My fourth tip is going to be speak with intention. You have to believe in yourself. I know that sounds like such a cliche, but it's so true. Christmas just passed, right? And so think about all of the Christmas cliche movies where there's always that non-believer in Santa Claus, right? And it takes you just that one non-believer, even though there's 1,000 believers in the world, but no, that one believer has to believe in Santa Claus to make the plot of the movie become the plot, right? So the how is less important than the belief you have in the idea. So think about those movies. No one ever questions how all of a sudden, once I believe in Santa Claus, now reindeer can fly. Or think about the Polar Express. I feel like that's more of a common movie everyone has seen. He had to believe in Santa Claus to hear a bell ring. But no one's asking you how that is happening. There, you're looking at it, you're like, you know what? Because he believed, that's how it happened. And that's how you need to look at your goals as well. Don't worry about how I'm going to do this. I mean, do worry about it, but initially, you don't worry about how you're going to do it. How am I going to get this money? How am I going to get this job? How am I going to lose this weight? The how isn't as important as the you believing in it, because once you believe in it, the how will be revealed to you. And then in that moment, it's up to you, once the how is revealed, to take the action. So tip number 4, be intentional in setting your goals. Don't worry about the how. Worry about the belief and you actually believing that you can have these things, because that is what's going to be important. All the things can be right there in your face, but until you believe in it, you're not going to have it. So you have to believe. All right. And then my tips 5, 6, and 7 are kind of going to run together. So follow me here. Tip number 5 is going to be avoid having a start date. So a lot of times we tend to quit on our goals or not achieve them because we set out, I'm going to start on January 1st. And then January 3rd comes around, you haven't started. So now you're just like, well, I guess I'm just not doing this year. But it's only been 3 days in the year. Or you're like, I'm going to start on Monday. And then Monday comes, you didn't do it. So then you say, okay, I'll start next Monday. And then that becomes the next Monday and the next Monday. Just because it's not on the 1st and just because it's not on a Monday doesn't mean you still can't start. So avoid having those start dates. Instead, which brings me to tip number 6, have a deadline date. So by the end of the year, I will have achieved these things. By the middle of the year, by June, I will have completed these things. This way, it takes away from that pressure of having to start on the 1st or having to start on Monday. You can start whenever, as long as you get it done. Think about in college, or in school, any kind of school, procrastinators are some of the most proud people. They're going to tell you, yeah, I had 3 weeks to do this, but I waited until the night before and I still got it done. Teacher doesn't know. You turned it in when it was due. That's all they care about. So you don't have to start when the assignment is given to you. You just have to have it done by the time it's due. So have those due dates. And even go back to the story I told you about the whole running situation. So yeah, he didn't start on January 1st. He didn't start on February 1st. He didn't even start on March 1st. He didn't start until June. But by the end of the year, by December, he was a runner. So it doesn't matter that he didn't start that in January. He had a goal. It's like, this year, I'm going to start running. He did. Even if he didn't start that to December, that's still this year. So as long as you can complete your goals by the end of the year, that is what matters. So don't get so harped up on this. I had to start in January. I had to start on the 1st. I have to start on Monday. Start when you get ready to start. But just make sure you're done when it's time to be done. And then my last tip, number 7, is going to be, don't try to do too much at once. I personally am breaking away from this whole multitasking scenario. While I absolutely can multitask, I prefer not to, because when your mind is on 2 different tasks, you're not fully present in either one. So even if I'm sitting on my computer typing something and someone comes talking to me, sure, I can listen to you while I still type, but I want to fully talk to you. So I'm going to say, could you give me a second? Let me finish up what I'm typing and I can give you my full attention. Do this with your goals as well. So if you have too many goals going on at once, you have 10% of you in this goal and then 10% of you in the other 10 goals that you set out for this year. Focus on one. So I like to do, well, I'm not going to say I like to do, one thing I am starting to do is break up my goals into quarterly goals. So go ahead and get the whole list. Say there's 10 things you want to accomplish this year. Go ahead and write all that out. But break it up into quarters. In Q1, so between January and March, I'll focus on these 3 goals. From March to June, I'll focus on these 3 goals. You know what I mean? So break it up into smaller time frames so you can give more of your attention to 1 or 2 goals, the way you can fully achieve those, versus giving a little bit of yourself to so many things, and then by the end of the year, you haven't fully achieved anything. And then, of course, if it's a goal that is going to take you 12 months, like let's say you want to read 24 books this year, of course, you might have to be reading a book every month or 1 or 2 books every month. But the thing is, it's still small, so you have to break that up into smaller goals. So that's my tip for that one. Don't try to do too much at once. Once you have a list of all those goals that you want to achieve this year, break those up until when am I going to focus on those. 4 quarters in the year, we got 12 months in a year, however you want to break it up. To spend a lot of your energy on a few things at once versus a little of your energy into a lot of different things. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it wasn't too choppy as I imagined that it was going to be, even how I feel that it still is, now that I'm done with it. But I hope those tips are helpful for you. Let me know in the comments which tip you feel like could be a great asset to you, which one you feel like you could implement this year coming up. And again, by the time this video goes out, we're already going to be about a week into the new year. So that just goes to show you don't have to wait until the 1st, or you don't have to only start on the 1st before you want to change your life around. You can do this at any time. So those are my 7 tips. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, you know what to do. Go ahead and give me that little thumbs up. Feel free to share it with your friends. If you're going to host a vision board party, maybe have this video play in the background while you all are sitting there setting up your goals for the year, however you want to do it. If you like content like this, things for your mental health, things for personal training, things for exercise, fitness, all that good stuff, then feel free to give my channel a subscribe so you see things that are coming out in the future. And I'll catch you in the next one. Don't forget to crush it.